Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I hope you all are fine. I am Dr. Muhammad Junaid Nadeem and I am going to deliver today a lecture on routes of drug administration. So we will begin with what do you mean by routes of drug administration? So it is basically defined as it is the path by which drug is given to the body. It means that the ways through which drug entered into the body, it means that is the route of administration. Now, before going into the classification and studying in details that which are the different routes through which drug is given, we will look quickly through that which are the factors by which we identified how we decide that which route is to be chosen. So the selection of the route is determined by the physical and chemical characteristics of the drug, site of desired action, it means at which part of the body the drug should be given, rate and extent of absorption from different routes. We are going to study in detail that different routes have different rates of absorption and the drugs are absorbed at different quantities through different routes. So the selection of route also depend upon this. Effect of digestive juices and first pass metabolism on drug. As we all know, you have studied in physiology that our stomach produce different types of digestive enzymes and different drugs are affected by these enzymes and first pass metabolism we will you will study the first pass metabolism also. Accuracy of dosage required, it means that how much dose is required for a particular drug. Rapidity by which response is required, it means that if the patient is unconscious or the patient needed immediate care and the action is required rapidly, then the route of drug administration is different in different scenarios and the condition of the patient. Now, as you will see that we have classified the channels of drug administration into three parts. One is called as antral, parenteral, and topical. So this is the main basic classification. Now there is this diagram by which you are showing different routes of drug administration. Here you can see that there is an intravenous route. As you can see, there is an IV drip over here, and it is connected to the body by means of a veins. And then there is transdermal route. As you can see, injection is given directly into the skin, skin across the skin. Intramuscular route, the injection is given directly into the muscles. Inhalational, you are seeing here an oxygen cylinder given by oxygen mask. Sublingual, buccal. We will discuss all these routes, and there is, as you can see, that drug is going into the stomach and then into the intestine and then through the circulation into the liver, and there is also a rectal route. So these are various routes which we'll study in detail. Now first of all we will start with antral route. We have divided classified the antral route into various other routes. Okay, what do you mean by antral routes? The antral routes mean which will be given by enteric system. Enteric means gut. It will start by the mouth, goes into the esophagus, then into the stomach, and then intestine, and then via the absorbed from there and to the liver. So we have divided antral route into oral route, sublingual route, buccal, and rectal. Now, first of all, we will study oral route. Oral refers to two methods of administration: applying topically to the mouth, swallowing for absorption along the gastrointestinal tract into the systemic circulation. This is the most common route which majority of drugs are given. It is it is mentioned by PO from the Latin per os, is the abbreviation used to indicate oral route for medication in administration. We will study the advantages and disadvantages of every route. So first, what are the advantages of oral route? It is convenient to be used. It can be self-administered by the patient. There is no pain while taking the medicines, and it is very easy to take. Absorption. Absorption takes place along the whole length of GI tract. It means the absorption does not is confined to small intestine or just into large intestine. The absorption can take place through the whole length of GI tract as the blood vessels are present along the whole length of GI tract. Cheap. As compared to parenteral route, which means intravenous route, the oral medicines are quite cheap as compared to injections. The same drug which is available in 20 to 25 rupees in oral form, it is available in almost 500 to 400 to 500 rupees in the form of injection. So it is cheap as compared to other parenteral routes. Now disadvantages. It is important. The disadvantages of oral route is quite important question. Sometimes inefficient. Only part of a drug may be absorbed. First pass effect. Drugs absorbed orally are initially transported to the liver via the portal vein. So what is first pass effect? First pass effect, the drug is to be transported into the liver, and then there is a metabolism over there, and then the rest of the drug is transported into the systemic circulation. So the whole of drug is not absorbed through this. Irritation of the gastric mucosa, which can lead to nausea and vomiting, which is a quite common side effect of various drugs. Destruction of drugs by gastric and digestive juices. As we have studied in the route of selection that either the drug is destroyed by digestive juices or not. So various drugs which are destroyed by digestive juices or gastric acids, they cannot be given via oral route. They cannot be given in the case of emergencies. So if the patient is unconscious, to you cannot give the drug via oral route. Or if the patient's BP is quite low, you cannot give the patient, you need immediate intervention. So oral route is not suitable for that. Unpleasant taste of some drugs. Some drugs are quite unpleasant to taste, so you cannot give these drugs by oral route. Now, what is first pass effect? First pass effect is the term used for the hepatic metabolism of a pharmacological agent when it is absorbed from the gut and delivered to the liver via the portal circulation. It means that the agent is absorbed from the gut, either small intestine, large intestine, and delivered to the liver. It means the drug will first transfer to the liver via portal circulation, and then it will goes to the systemic circulation. The greater the first pass effect, the less agent will reach the systemic circulation when the agent is administered orally. So the drugs which undergoes first pass effect, they have less efficacy as compared to the drugs which does not undergoes first pass effect. As you can see, the drugs is absorbed from the GI tract and goes into the liver and then into the general circulation. So various forms of oral dosages are available. Solid forms, as most commonly tablets and capsules. It can be either coated or non-coated. Liquid forms in solutions, suspensions, syrups, or elixirs, alcoholic sugar solutions, which are called. Now, the second one, sublingual route. Sublingual route means you have placed the drug under your tongue. As you can see in the diagram, that the drug is placed under the tongue. It is rapidly absorbed by sublingual mucosa. And the most common drug which is given via this route is glyceryl trinitrate, which is given in case of angina and other things, and buprenorphine. What are the advantages of sublingual route over oral route or other parenteral routes? It is economical, quick termination, first pass effect is avoided in this. So that's why the drug is absorbed quite rapidly, and it is avoiding the first pass effect. Disadvantages: unpalatable and bitter drugs can't be given via these routes. Irritation of oral mucosa. Large quantities cannot be given by this route, and very few drugs are available which are absorbed by this route. Now, buccal route. What do you mean by buccal administration? It is the route where the drug is placed between gums and inner lining of the cheek, buccal pouch, as you can see in this different diagrams. And drug is absorbed by buccal mucosa. The drug is absorbed slowly, as you can see, just applied after 1 hour, after 5 hours, and after 10 hours. Okay, advantages: avoid the first pass effect, rapid absorption, drug stability. Inconvenience: advantage is lost if swallowed, small dose limit. Now, rectal route. It means the drug is placed directly into the rectum, which is in the form of suppositories or enema. The most common drugs which are given are diazepam, indomethacin, aspirin, theophylline, chlorpromazine. These are the drugs which can be given via rectal route. Okay, what are the advantages of rectal route? It can be used in children, as you know, the small infants and children are not cooperative to the oral route. Little or no first pass effect. It can be used in vomiting or unconscious patient. Higher concentration rapidly achieved. Disadvantages: inconvenient, as it can be painful and various patients are shy to adopt that route. Absorption is slow and erratic. Irritation or inflammation of rectal mucosa can occur. Now, now we have studied the various routes of enteral route. Now we will study about parenteral route. Parenteral administration is the injection or infusion by means of a needle or catheter inserted into the body. So, when the drug is given by means of injection or in infusion form, it classifies under the parenteral route. The term parenteral comes from the Greek words para, meaning outside, and enteron, meaning the intestine. This route of administration bypasses the alimentary canal. As it is bypassing the alimentary canal, so it means it is avoiding the first pass effect. Now, various parenteral routes are intravenous, intramuscular, subcutaneous, intraarterial, intraarticular, intrathecal, intradermal. And inhalational route is absorption through lungs. Now, first of all, intravenous. Obviously, intravenous route means it is directly given into the veins. When the drug is given into the veins via either either by means of directly injecting by the syringes or via IV cannula. As you can see into the picture that IV cannula is placed and the drug is given by these. What are the advantages? Extremely important question. Bioavailability is 100%. Desired blood concentration achieved. Large quantities can be given. If you want to give 1000 ml, 2000 ml, or a continuous infusion of drug, it is given via intravenous route. It is given in vomiting and diarrhea to achieve the rapid response. And in emergency situations, first pass effect is avoided. Gastric manipulation is avoided. Now, what are the disadvantages? It can lead to irritation of veins and can cause cellulitis. There is a chance of thrombophlebitis, irritation of against the veins and destruction of veins. Rapid injections not always feasible. They can lead to different side effects like itching, or they can cause nausea, etc. They are less safe. You need a technical assistance to give drug by this route. A patient cannot administer by itself. Danger of infection, as you are pricking the vein of a patient, so there is a chance that bacteria can enter by this small hole which is created by means of that prick. Expensive, as I have told you earlier. Less convenient and painful. It is quite painful for the patients, this route. Now, Intramuscular route. It means that injection is given directly into the muscle. Now, what are the advantages? Absorption, reasonably uniform, rapid onset, mild irritants can be given, which cannot be given by intravenous route. They avoid the first pass effect, and gastric factors are also avoided. Now, what are the disadvantages? Only up to 10 ml of drug can be given. You cannot give more than 10 ml by this route. Local pain and abscesses, expensive once again, infection, and there is a chance of nerve damage when an untrained person gives the intramuscular injection. As you have studied in anatomy, that every major muscles, as you know, the intramuscular injections can be given in your deltoid muscle and are given into the your gluteus maximus and muscle. So we know that there are various nerves are passing through that muscles. So if an untrained person give that injection, it can lead to the damage of nerves. Subcutaneous route. It means the injection is given under the skin. The absorption is slow, so action is prolonged. Okay, there is a concept that the slower the absorption of the drug, the prolonger the action of the drug. So it means that the oral route is the oral route has slower absorption, but its effect is longer as compared to parenteral route. Okay, we cannot inject more than 20 ml by this route, and the most common drug given by this route is insulin. Now, intra-arterial, it is used rarely. It means that the drugs are given into the arteries. Anti-cancer drugs are given for localized effects, and drugs used for diagnosis of peripheral vascular diseases. Intra-articular, it means that drugs are given into the joints. Injections of antibiotics and corticosteroids are administered in inflamed joint cavities by experts. Example, hydrocortisone in rheumatoid arthritis. Intradermal. The drug is given within the skin layers, which is dermis. It is quite painful, mainly used for testing sensitivity to drugs, for example, penicillin and anti-tetanus serum. What do you mean by inoculation? It means administration of vaccines. So vaccines are also some smallpox vaccine, BCG vaccines are also given intradermally. Now we have come to topical routes of administration. What do you mean by topical administration? It is the application of drug directly to the surface of the skin. It includes administration of drugs to any mucous membrane, which includes eye, nose, ears, lungs, vagina, urethra, and colon. Now, topical dosage forms. Dose forms for topical administration includes on skins we use creams, ointments, lotions, gels, transdermal patches, discs. As you can see different forms. The solid form is available in powder form, semi-solid in paste, oily paste or ointment. Liquid form is available in solution which is divided into aqueous solution or alcoholic tincture, and semi-solid is also available in with the combination of liquid in hydrogel or lotion, or semi-solid is available in creams form. Okay, there is no need to go into the more detail than that. Topical dosage forms for eye or ear solutions, suspension or ointments, and for nose and lungs sprays and powders. Advantages and disadvantages of the topical route. Advantage: local therapeutic effects, lower risk of side effects. Transdermal route offers steady level of drug in the system. It means by the transdermal route, the drug is given at a steady state, at a steady level, and the drug is available to the body at a constant rate. Disadvantages: not well absorbed into the deeper layers of the skin or mucous membrane. It is the basic disadvantage of topical route. Now, transdermal absorption of drug through skin. As I have told you earlier, it maintains the stable blood levels in the body, no first pass metabolism. Drug must be potent or patch becomes too large. As you can see in the diagram, that a patch is placed over the body and the drug is contained into that patch and it is continuously absorbed via skin into the body. Now, routes of administration, time until effects. As you can see, the fastest effect is achieved by intravenous routes, 30 to 60 seconds, intraosseous 30 to 60 seconds, endotracheal 2 to 3 minutes, inhalational 2 to 3 minutes, sublingual 3 to 5 minutes, intramuscular 3 to 5 minutes, subcutaneous 10 to 20 minutes, rectal 15 to 30 minutes, injections by injection you achieve the drug in 5 to 30 minutes, and transdermal 30 to 90 minutes. So these are various timings of different routes. There is a summary of advantages and disadvantages summarized into the table. Oral routes, convenience, route of choice is possible. Multiple barriers and obstacles to efficient uptake into systemic circulation. Liver barrier, the main disadvantage of the oral route. Intravenous, efficient, involved, needed skilled labor, risk of infection. And inhalational route, fast, quantitative uptake, limited to gaseous agents, for example, oxygen and narcotics. And topical routes, high drug concentration can be achieved, toxic side effects can be minimized and limited to accessible sites only. So this was our topic for today. I hope you have understand the topic. Thank you.